I'm in a super fortunate position. I've said this so many times on this channel and this podcast that I'm afforded the opportunity to speak to some amazing individuals. And last year I came across a gentleman named Dan Finkel, and Dan is just an absolute joy to work with. And we actually worked with each other for a few months where he was going to publish his debut novel, Mr. Taffel and the Pants and Mr. Taffel's Pants of Insanity. I got to get that one right, otherwise Dan will give me a hard time. But I found it so interesting here more recently. He is going to launch his audiobook production, and it's actually a full production. It's very interesting to hear how he found a voice actor, how he was able to get the recording, and how he more recently was able to put this into a full show over at a local bookstore over in Los Angeles. So I'm super excited to share a little bit of his story here with you, because Dan is just an extraordinary gentleman with some great ideas, and I hope that it, I don't know, greases your creative wheels for book marketing and promotion that thinks outside the box. So without any further ado, let's get into the interview with Daniel Eric Finkel.
In a couple podcasts, but not, this is like an official first one, I feel like.
Official. See, like, you've made the grade now. I think this is perfect. We start out midway in conversation, which we've never done in the podcast before. I think it's perfect, and I think it perfectly embodies our relationship over the past year or so, right?
So it like I said before, it's so surreal just talking to you. It's like some weird fever dream. You're like watching your videos, and then all of a sudden you're involved. It is really, really cool.
Well, I'm flattered as always, Dan. You've always been you've stroked my ego a number of times, but now it's time for me to return the favor, because you came to me a little over a year ago to discuss your magnum opus, that project you're working on. So share with me what all was the work entailed for Mr. Taffel's Pants of Insanity. Did I get it right?
Yes, you did. Congratulations.
I've got the shirt, so I can kind of remember it.
Yeah, I got, by the way, new shirts. I'll have to send you the new audiobook shirt. But getting back to your question, it's been a screenplay. I wrote one of my first screenplays ever. I mean, maybe my fifth screenplay, early 2000s. It was it was in that Something About Mary's. So it was a complete different thing, but it was just about this dude that got leather pants and put him into a weird world. That was like the concept from the beginning. So I must have, over the years, done like 20 drafts of this fucking screenplay. One time I was at Disney with this producer trying to figure out like a way to kind of turn it into a Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. I mean, it went so many. So when I decided like, okay, it's time to write my book, like which one should I pick? I was like, well, I made the leather pants script. Really, like, I kind of really leaned into that whole Disney kind of psychedelic vibe with it, Yeah. So I'm like, that's, I want to write like an Alice in Wonderland, Willy Wonka type book, and that I should just use that as the the starting point.
Nice. So the reason why we got connected today was something that fascinated me about you, which was you didn't just think about writing a book. I mean, you obviously wrote the book, you published it, and it sounds like you got the audiobook out. So where are we at now? Because right now it sounds like it's become something more than just a book.
Yes. Luckily, this little last period of time for me has just been like, it's been truly one of the most wonderful times of my life. Just exciting. Just getting to become an author, first of all, is just wild. Like, I'd never thought I was smart enough to pull off a book, like, ever. It took me basically till I'm a middle-aged man to be able to do it. You know what I mean? But yeah, to answer your question a little better, when I was doing the second draft, I got to live in my friend's house in Portland in his guest room for really cheap, just so I could really focus on writing. And I've always done like music, but not that I'm a musician. I'm more of just like a really creative guy that loves music, and I've had like great musician friends, so I've been in some great bands because of that. I'm not like a great singer or a rapper really, but I can kind of, if I just stay in my own lane, I can do it really well. Yeah. So he was a musician that I'm great friends with, And so I kind of just joked around that I should write a rap about the book, like one of the, and he's like, we got to do it. We got to do it. So while I was living with him for, it ended up being 6 months, we ended up getting the basic songs to write an EP for to promote the book. And I've
Nice.
performed this now and then we met another producer who put music on it. It was just another friend. So it was like a real band. It was just really strange. And so performed these at some little festivals, on the side stages. And then, when I did the book premiere, I did it at, a bookstore where I live, Highland Park, California, in Los Angeles. And I also performed it when I was in Bellingham, when I won the award for the SIBA, Mark Twain first place. So I went up there and I performed it up there. And it was
Nice.
crazy. So yeah, to a lot of, that was a little bit more of like a, it wasn't, it was a little older crowd, but it was fun. It was amazing. It was so fun. Yeah.
What do you think was so unique about your show that probably surprised some people there?
No, I'm just loud. It's just really
Is that it?
psychedelic and loud. There's a lot of
Gotcha.
chanting, like, comedy, but it's in your face. Yeah. No, I mean, it's been the reception to it has been really good. I mean, I'm really happy. I can't. It's just crazy how it all turned out. It was just like one of these things, like how everything's turning out. It's just building. It's kind of become a life of its own, and it's become this thing. And now we did the audiobook, which is the thing I'm really leaning into, the thing I'm really going to be promoting like crazy, because I did it with this comedian friend of mine, Tommy Toretta, and he's so funny, and he does like 30 voices. So it's like really listening. You can really just, it's like a psychedelic cartoon, like coming into your ears, and you're manifesting itself in your brain. It's like this would be the best road trip book, like audiobook, just because you're just, zone out and just laugh and have fun. Like it's, so I'm really excited about it. And to throw a plug, how it all comes together is, on a Saturday, October 14th, at this place called the Last Bookstore in downtown LA, which is one of the greatest independent bookstores you'll ever go to. It's like, especially for this, like they have like tunnels made of books, like it's just like it is. And then they have little artist studios on the upper floor where artists like rent little spaces, and it's just like this old building. And in the middle of it, they have this stage. So we're going to do this thing where, a group of comedians and like clowns and pantomimes, they're going to be doing like, they're going to be pantomiming and doing like sock puppets and weird shit like that, while the Tommy Toretta reads in all his voices a couple scenes, and then I'm going to kind of tie it together with the music. And so we're doing that 8:30 Saturday. If anyone's in LA, I'd love to see you, and that would be amazing. We're gonna have a full bar, food trucks. It's like a band after Johnny Muezi, who's incredible. Rock blues is gonna play. It's gonna be quite an event.
It sounds like quite the production. So it's take me through. First of all, how did you get a show booked at the Last Bookstore? Because it seems like it's a rather, I mean, the premier place to be at. So I wouldn't think that was an easy secure for you.
That's what I'm saying. Like it doesn't always work, but if you just kind of manifest these things, like really just believe in them, they kind of sometimes happen. And
Yeah.
so when I did the show, I just was like, I want to play it, like I want to play at all the biggest bookstores. That's what I want to tour around. I just call it my book tour, even though I haven't really, I've, like, in a year and a half span, I've played like 5 times, but I call it the
Yeah.
book tour. Um, but I read a friend that, like, when I was the guy that like lived above my friend, like worked at the Last Bookstore, and he started promoting events there. And so his name is Nicholas
Oh.
Esposito. I think that's how you spell his last name. Sorry, Nick. I don't know if that's the right way, but I'm a little stupid. We all know that. But anyway, he's like, an incredible, writer, director, performance art. And so he had this event there where it was like all comedians and musicians in the Last Bookstore. So I got introduced to him, and he started following me around. He saw that I was winning awards and stuff. And so we kind of, you know, I was trying to pitch it, I was like, I want to do it. And so finally he was like, let's do it. Let's do a whole night around your book, your audiobook premiere. So Yeah, it kind of came to me. I'm not going to lie, Dale, a little bit. I was trying to get other places at the time, and getting
Yeah.
rejected. Like, so it wasn't like I was trying to book a big bookstore. I
Yeah.
tried to play the LA Book Festival, on the stage. I was like hounding them. They didn't want anything to do with me. So it's been, I've had to, work really hard as well. That one came very easy to me.
So it was just some an instance of being at the right place at the right time and knowing the right people then.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Gotcha.
Completely.
It all falls together, I think, in the right way. What reflecting back on some of the places that maybe you did approach, what do you think was different about your approach that maybe you could have changed and possibly landed those shows?
I don't know if I could have changed anything at this point. I think it's about
Yeah.
getting that first thing because they were really big. They were like, I'm trying to pitch myself, but you know how it goes. It's like
Yeah.
we're in a hot. This is showbiz in LA, especially.
Yeah.
Trying to get like a premier bookstore. It's like,
Mm.
like so. But now that I feel like now that I have this one, I can really build on that, and hopefully I
Proof
can
of
start.
concept.
Yeah, like I've played this place. I'll make a nice little sheet showing some cool photos of it. That's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking. I'm winging this, Dale. Really, I've never really. I'm just keeping it going. So anyone out there
Yeah.
that can help me or anything, please contact me on social media. I would love to hear from you. I think this really like I've been almost a cult hero a lot of times, or had projects that were almost they were just like on the verge. I feel
Yeah.
like this is another one, and I really feel like this audiobook, because of the actor, I'm not even touting myself. It's just because I got lucky with this incredible performance that it really has a chance to be a genuine cult hit. So I'm gonna keep going with it while I work on my other stuff.
Is the audiobook going to be anything like what the people get to see live at this presentation?
Yeah, he's gonna read like three little parts from like in the same characters as the audiobook.
Oh,
For those.
nice.
So yeah,
So
yeah, you're gonna get
it's
to
not going to
see
be
it.
the entire book per se, but probably important clips from within the screen or the actual what's the word I'm looking for? The audiobook play.
Yeah, yeah. Like we just basically because of the songs, the way I laid the songs out, I wanted like to have one that correlated with each song, so you could kind of understand. So it kind of guides you on a little journey of it. It just gives you a little taste of what the audiobook's about. So they're like anywhere from 8 to 12 minutes of like actual reading and performance chunks. Three of them. So whatever that is, it's going to be about a 45-minute show.
Okay, I'm sitting there getting this because I know how thick your book is, and I only got to read maybe like a chapter of it when you were getting ready to publish it. But
It's 7 hours long.
it's a long book. I'm getting this picture in my head. I'm like, is this man crazy enough to perform the entire book? And I'm like, wow, you've got a good friend there. Okay, so walk me back here just for just a second here on the audiobook, because when we last talked, it was like a thing like you're like, ooh, let's just get the print book and the ebook out. We'll handle the audiobook. So what led up to the production of the audiobook? Obviously, you had a friend that was able to do the voiceover work. So when did he start doing it? How did he record it? And what was the process like for you in uploading and distribution?
Right. So just to let you know, I didn't do it originally because I just didn't have a clue. Like I was like, I don't know. Like I just want to
Really?
get this book out.
I feel bad now. I was the one who was coaching you and I
No,
didn't
no,
tell
you
you what to
coached
do.
me, but I just felt like it was too much too soon. Like like I
Oh,
didn't know
yes.
what. Like I knew like it wasn't you. It was just like I didn't. It's already costing a lot of money to do this. To launch a book
Yeah.
and like a podcast or audiobook's a whole other thing. Even
Yeah.
more than I thought. Like it's been a project, man. So, but on the journey, kind of like because of all the awards that that you helped me sign up for, and like I got to win a lot of these awards. I kind of like on my little journey, just kind of seeing what people were doing and just studying the market. It just felt like if I was truly going to like market the book, I should just do the audiobook because
Yeah.
I feel, especially for this kind of book, more people are just, that's going up, sales of that's going up and books are going down, right? It's like, I think. So it just felt like, okay, let's just do the audiobook and really go for it because people are responding to the book. People are loving the book. So I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
that's enough now. I'm not, it's just not like three people and like three of my friends and like me. this book's good, like people are loving it. So got to go for it, you know how hard we work on these things. It's like, so basically, because of some of the music that I've done, I have a great friend, Bradley Dumovic, who is a producer and he's never done an audiobook, but he's like, you got to I told him about it and I wasn't sure if he wanted to do it. He wanted to do it,
Dude, you
so
got some connections, man.
I've lived in LA for 20 something years,
Yeah.
like, I've met some cool people. I'm not that connected though, I don't want to, but yeah, I've met a lot of artists and great people out here.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, and Tommy, my friend he's friends with both of us. So I actually introduced them as friends, and they do music together. So it was just this weird circle of energy. So it was like, why wouldn't I was looking for narrators before that. I didn't even put it together. I was like, maybe this should be an English woman. I don't know why I thought that. It was, now looking back, it was a stupid idea, So I was like listening to, I went to some of the voice. There's a thing called Voices that has English women from Europe. So I was auditioning people, but it was really expensive, and the ones I wanted, it was crazy amounts. So luckily I paid, but I got friendship deals, to do this with these guys. So that really helped. And plus it took all summer because of their schedules, it'd be okay, we have this day to get together and do it. And he was doing it so high energy that you couldn't we did about 3 chapters a time, and then he'd just be sweating and just his energy would, so it took a lot of times. I bought a lot of really good fucking meals for these guys, Dale. A lot of
Hooked them up.
They got good
catering.
lunches, and I was like, all right, we'll eat there again. Jeez, I guess. All right. Yeah, but no, we had a great time though. It was fun. It was really fun. And it's always stressful doing the technical stuff for me, but I got through it. So it's on Find Away Voices I used because of one of your videos. So Find Away Voices. So right now it's posting. It's in about 6 of them have been approved. I hope by the 14th,
Sweet.
most of them have been approved. Audible might take a little longer, but that's where
the
we're
libraries have been historically a little slower to take in, but I would imagine yours would perform very, very well in the library system as well. So, and it's really nice too. And I always recommend to authors, anytime they are publishing wide, especially through avenues like Find Away Voices, is to make sure that you don't just say, hey, go buy it on Amazon and Audible. Well, you can say all major online retailers, because it's going to be available in Google Play, it's going to be Apple and things like that. But I'm preaching to the choir here,
really
man.
Me. The Spotify
is it exciting?
Because I that's what I bought. I just to test it out. I got a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Also, I just wanted to listen to that audiobook to make, because I'm just wanted to be in that lane. So, but it was weird. It's just on my Spotify now, just like an album. I can just hear it anytime.
It's a good idea to have around because it's going to be one of the best marketing tools. You can be able to just share it with somebody and in a conversation. Real briefly here, you kind of touched on this, and I think this is so super exciting. I think it was, I don't know, earlier this year that you were at a book conference and you met a mutual friend of ours, Hannah Jacobson, over at Book Award Pro.
That's right.
So, you ended up becoming an award-winning author. You already mentioned it. I feel like we almost buried the lead on that. So give us a little bit of insights. How did that happen? What were the awards? And did you see any good results from getting those awards?
Well, what happened was, you told me to join Book Award Pro, so I did. And I basically, any award that had comedy, I felt like, because humor, there was going to be a lot of competition, but not sci-fi or, horror, or some genre where it's just a ton of, I bet so I'm I feel like I have a shot because of that. I wasn't sure, but then the first one, I was a finalist, nice. All these different, and, so the first, there was just only a few that I didn't either win or become a finalist in. So I think it was 6 or something like that out of 9 or something like that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So it was I was really happy, and just being part of that world, just, getting people that actually really enjoyed the book. You just don't know. Like, you're just like,
Yeah.
I have no idea if anyone's gonna even fucking get this. I know how weird it is, but
Yeah.
I
What
did
does that feel like to you in getting those awards? How does
it.
that feel? What is
It
that?
crazy. I mean, just because just writing a book, like,
Yeah.
and the first couple drafts, I remember I like gave it to some people, and they were not feeling it. People, so it wasn't like it was instantaneously like, this is amazing. People were like,
Mhm.
huh, and I had to change. So I really like wasn't sure, and like how it was going to play, and like I mean, I know not 100% of everyone loves everything, but there's definitely people that like, and the fact that like these contests have been so receptive to it, and I've won. It was crazy getting on stage and like Bellingham, Washington, just like, hey,
Yeah.
like it was just like, what is happening here? So that's the thing, is so those awards, it all costs money. So like I figured like I wouldn't market the book. I would just focus on those awards once I started kind of winning, going, let's milk this see what happens, and go down this road. So now I've got all those ribbons, and now I've got this audiobook. So now I'm going to really like try to put it together and make, because basically the book is sold pretty much to like friends and family, about
Mhm.
200 people, like, and then after that it kind of like went real slow. So,
Yeah.
because everyone I know bought it, you know what I mean? Or like that wanted to
Yeah.
buy it pretty much. So yeah, so we'll see. I have no idea what's going to happen.
Very cool. Well, hey, Dan, we blasted through time like it's nobody's business, and I had no doubt we'd be able to fill an entire podcast interview segment. So I'm going to ask you the question I ask everybody else. What advice do you have for aspiring authors and self publishers out there?
I mean, just know that I am a tech phobe. I never wrote a book before, and I just kind of believed and just kept, just as long as you're loving it and you're just passionate about it. Seriously, that's not cliche. It's like just focus on that. Don't focus on the fear. Focus on that passion and love, and it will turn out great.